Well, a very warm welcome to this impromptu, unscripted live chat. My name is James. This is the James Neil Cooper channel. Today is Sunday, the 24th of April, 2022. Now, I've been having some difficulties today. Let me just lower that. I've been having some difficulties today related to publishing videos, and for some unknown reason, the powers to be have, well, how to say, been awful and sort of been demonetizing me. So I thought I'd do a live chat and just show you what I've been trying to do on my channel today. Now, this is called Shanghai Daily. This is the lockdown, and this is sort of like the latest, which I have found a lot of information on Twitter. Now, the first bit of news is here. This is good news to start off with, that some supplies to some of the more local areas, so some local traders can go to the gates of the community, for example. The gates are obviously closed, but people can buy food. So that's a good thing. It looks a little bit like this. Excuse me there. But you can see that people are buying and selling food, and there. I'm just going to stop that bit there. So that's a bit of good news in Shanghai at the moment. Obviously, this is not all of Shanghai. There's a population of over 25 million. Some people say 26. It's a little bit crazy that people don't know how many people who live in Shanghai. Now, this is another video that I found on Twitter, and you can just watch it for a while. And this is just a test. And that's all you're going to see with that. Basically, what's happening there is, can I just go back a bit? Yeah. Basically, what's happening there is that they do the test, but they don't disinfect the gloves each and every time, or they don't change the gloves. So you have cross-contamination there. So you can see why the COVID cases are going higher, because, well, that's just one reason, for example. The next one I want to show you is one of my favorites. Good morning, Randy. How are you? I know it's really early. This is a chicken. This is my favorite video of the day. A chicken being tested for COVID-19. Yeah, a chicken. And while we're there, these are some dogs. I'm not too sure where in the world it is. Sorry, well, in China it is, being shouted at by the COVID police. Go away, go away, go away. And of course, I'm not too sure these dogs are stray, or the owners have just let them free, for example. But it's actually quite funny that COVID lockdown is not just for people, it's also for pets. And can pets catch COVID? I really don't know, but this is the zero tolerance policy in China. If you speak to anyone in China, they will actually say, it really doesn't work, and you need to adopt some different measures. But it's an election year. Yes, it all boils down to politics. It's an election year in China, and guess what? Yeah, she wants to be re-elected, so he's got to stick with his guns, regardless of 1.4 billion people saying this COVID zero tolerance policy doesn't work. So they're the doggies for you. You can see them again there. Next one. Now, this is not Shanghai. This is a city, Nanjing, which is really close to Shanghai. It used to be the former capital of China years and years ago. Nanjing, same place. And you can hear in the background a little bit, you can hear the same kind of thing. So I don't know how confirmed or the report of this is. Is Nanjing on lockdown as well? Okay, here's another video I found on Twitter. This is not going to be a long video, by the way, so I don't expect many people to watch this. This is a quarantine center. This is one of the nicer quarantine centers, and the doctors and the nurses, or whoever is there, the organizers in this place, have given them all flags to sing and sing some patriotic song. Huh. I could imagine quite simply saying, if you're not going to sing, you're not going to get a bed. If you're not going to sing, you're not going to get nice food. You're just going to get the remains or no food at all. This is how the Chinese government work, manipulating people. If you don't do it, you're not going to get something. Now, in order to curb the spread in Shanghai, these are some workers spreading some lime on the ground. And supposedly, I'm not a scientist or anything, but supposedly this is really meant to help in the, how to say, to disinfect COVID. So if you put your nose to the ground, well, maybe it can help. There they are, the COVID police, and this is lime. They're just spitting everywhere, which is not exactly very good for your health. It is going to stop the spread a little bit, a tiny bit, I could imagine. And this is a funny video. This is, again, the COVID scientists or the COVID police, and everyone has to be tested near enough 5 times a day. Sorry, that's like an exaggeration, like once or twice, maybe 3 times a week. And this is an old lady just sitting there minding her own business and saying, why do I need the test? And fighting, not necessarily. Go away, stormtrooper. Now, this is my favorite. This actually has got 1.7 million views, and it was meant to be propaganda. There was meant to be propaganda of the COVID police and how efficient they are, of these stormtroopers dealing with the situation. It's just so funny. I just love it. I could watch this time and time again. Oh, look at me. There's the COVID policy working. Now, what the CCP, what the Chinese state media is doing in the meantime is showing propaganda and organizing these sort of dance parties, trying and posting this on social media, showing and trying to break away for people not to watch things about Shanghai. When people do post, it usually comes down within half an hour. And it's great that people can post on Twitter, because the Communist Party, the state media don't have, or the censorship board don't have control over that, thank God. So this is in Xinjiang. Xinjiang is where the Uyghurs are in the northwest of China. Xinjiang, you could imagine, is the size of Turkey. It is massive. It's bigger than Texas, I do believe, and that's massive. I remember driving through Texas. I think it took me 2.5 days from the west coast to the east coast, or west to east of Texas. Regardless of that, so this is some propaganda. Everything is okay in China. Now, I have taken away the music because of copyright, etc., etc. But there is a lovely girl doing some Uyghur dancing, supposedly. And this is in Changsha. Yeah? Again, propaganda, getting people aroused and forgetting about what the COVID situation is really like. That is the propaganda, where it should be, it can be there, but it should be just done by people. It shouldn't be done by governments, for example. There's another thing that I want to show you, and this is something that will be on my channel a little bit later on, but I'm going to give you a sneak peek of this. And is it here? I'm going to put this up. From the heart. I live in Cambodia. There we go. So I'm going to say goodbye now, but this is something that I am putting on my channel a little bit later on tomorrow, I do believe, or midnight tonight, my time. And it's related to my mugs. Where are the mugs? Here they are. The idea was that by now I should have sold 72 of them. Now, I've only sold like 22 of them, but I need to sell the other 50 to get the money to the orphanage. So I'm going to say goodbye, but I'm going to leave you with this little video of my plea for people to buy a mug. Yes, I know what you're thinking, but if I don't, then how can some of the children have a moment of happiness? So cheerio for now. Thank you for your time, and I'll leave you with this video, and I'll say bye-bye for now. Living in Asia for 28 years, but now I call home, Cambodia. Cambodia doesn't have a great history related to certain things. I'm sure you heard of Pol Pot or the Khmer Rouge or the things which have happened here in the last 50 years. For the last 20 odd years, you could say, or even 25 years, it's been pretty calm. But there are a lot of children here in China who don't have a mum and dad because of the situation all those years ago. It was, I think, October or November, I started to become friends with a gentleman in America called Donald, and he suggested to me, actually the story was related to American tax, and he's helping me with that, but he said he would like to help the children in Cambodia in a way that if we could get a mug and sell it for $15, and then once we sell all the mugs, that money can go to an orphanage. Now, this is the mug here, and many thanks to all the people who have bought one for $15 in America. Thank you so much for that. But we have about 50 more to go, and hence this is the video. I'm not getting any money for this video. This is my, you could say, goodwill. This is my charity, and this is why we want to help. The money is, when it arrives here, once we sold the remaining cups, 50 of them, is we will go and buy, my girlfriend Sophie and I, we will go and buy sacks of rice, slippers. So this is going to be on my channel. I was going to say goodbye, but I'm still here. I did make a mistake in the video. I did say China, I meant Cambodia. But I will leave you now. But what I am going to do is just going to show you the video, the full video of everything that I did. It's only about a minute long of the Shanghai lockdown 2000 and